Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the former world champion Terran in the blue. It's Micro Jackson, ByuN. Facing off against arguably the best Protoss player in the world in the red, we have Hero. In a best of 5, Terran versus Protoss Grand Finals. And personally, I've had enough of the kids' table. Clem versus Max Pax and their high-speed gaming. Let's let the over 30 gamers battle it out. And casters. And let's be honest here, viewers. And if you're slightly offended by that, take your time, put your reading glasses on, and make sure to smash that like button. And maybe even subscribe. And Jimmy, what are we at? Oh, they'll keep watching. 1,581 likes on this video, on this cast, and I'll cast another one. I'll probably do it anyways. I don't know what else I'd do with my life. But thank you for watching. Hopefully, you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better than it is for this first SCV murdered in cold blood by the adept that ByuN let in from the supply depot. And Hero misses a shot. He tries to target the Marine, hits the refinery. Another adept. The first adept is still in the main base. It is a escalating disaster here. It's gone from a minor inconvenience to a moderate kerfuffle. And for now, it should end there, but things continue. And now it's of concern. How many SCVs? 2 SCVs dead. The adept dies. There's an engineering bay. ByuN is going for +1 infantry weapons like this is Bronze League hero. Oh yeah, there's an Oracle on the way across the map. So we already have a disaster piece in the making. Cyclone is about to pop out at a fortuitous timing. Gonna try to deal with this. Only 1 adept is shading. Doesn't break the lock. Oracle heads into the main. Cyclone gonna come back to defend, and Oracle realizes maybe this isn't the place it wants to be right now, which is quite a revelation alongside the actual ability. So, now what? So ByuN is rushing +1 infantry weapons for like 5 Marines, which, well, lucky them, I guess. I honestly do not know what the engineering bay is doing there. 2 Oracles are twice as many as needed to kill 4 Marines, but still not enough to deal with 2 Cyclones. So the ByuN may literally have 2 Marines when +1 weapons finishes. That looks like where we're headed now. I mean, I guess it's good to get that upgrade out of the way. We'll look at the bright side of things, or maybe it's just good marketing. Even more Oracles are coming across the map. Hero has 41 probes and 3 Oracles. Meanwhile, a Reaper? That's a bit late for a Reaper. Totally not an accident. Alright, these gamers know exactly what they want, and it's not like they miss their keys in their elderly age. Well, Medevac. Spylon will actually miss it for a moment. He has to know that those Oracles are a threat, and then, those Cyclones are a threat, and then, of course, he's going to summarily ignore them. There's Stasis on the ground, but unfortunately, he's already in the main, and he just chrono boosted. There's no energy for recall, and this is actually a cataclysmic disaster for Hero. He's gonna lose so many probes, unless ByuN just gives up on the whole idea. The Oracle's triple teaming the SCVs, and not in a fun way. 8 SCVs dead, 6 probes slaughtered, but we're not done there. Coming around for another pass. Locks onto the Adept, gonna try to take it out. Almost leaves the Cyclone behind. But the Medevac will get away for now. Does he dart into the third? Of course he does. Blink is far from done. The Cyclone's 11 probes dead. ByuN at 33 workers. He may be able to save. Don't do it. They'll expect 1 of us in the wreckage, brother. And he sacrifices a Cyclone so the Medevac and the other Cyclone can get away. But the Oracles have somehow survived throughout all this. ByuN building quite a bulwark in his main. Just like his prodigal son, metaphorically, Clem, has popularized. The Oracles float in, the Oracles float out. You can't explain that. Cyclone into the main base. Between the Cyclone and the Medevac, there's about 4 HP. Okay, maybe 14. Blink is almost done as the Stalkers continue trundling around. Locks on to yet another probe. Okay, well, he loses the Medevac. Cyclone passes its expiration date. Yes, that's the one. 5 probes dead. Okay, and now it's macro time. Well, certainly Hero versus ByuN. off to a very standard start, which is anything but standard. The Oracle still finding damage. Hero just glazing by and almost loses another one. A strong gust of wind will take it out at this point, but the blink is completed. ByuN has +1, and now he's working on stimulate. I still don't understand the +1 attack, because he built a factory along. It doesn't make any sense. But ByuN has made many sense in his StarCraft 2 career, so I'm inclined to trust him for now. I'm just kidding. He just goes bio every single game, and somehow it still works. Terran in a nutshell. Meanwhile, Hero has, despite his best efforts, ended up with a decent army composition. He's looking to throw that away by walking directly into sea. He's clearly trying to, as masterfully as possible, bait him into that stasis and try to pick off some extra units. But ByuN just picks up and goes around, which the Oracle will spot it. So I'm like 68.8% rounding up sure he saw that coming. But RoboBay is on the way. That's a lot of bio to deal with. Again, Hero is on the wrong side of the map. His stalkers are engaged. He's going to take out one Widowmon, but the bio army just cuts in, knocks out 2 sentries, targets down a medevac. The Marauders have to run away. A costly exchange for both sides. Stalkers brawling. They're going to die across the board. He picks up just a few of them. His blink off cooldown. Yes. The medevac taken out of the sky. ByuN frozen in time in the center. And somehow Hero actually wins that? Okay. I think Hero actually came out ahead. Which... Huh. Well, he got the medevac in all the units. ByuN got like... Well, what in the heck have I done now? I was trying to bring up the battle report. Instead, I brought up the satellite view. I've never seen that before. What is this? Is this a mod? Oh my, what if you could play like this? I can't control it. I have no control over the situation, but we're gonna just cinematically... Is this just for a cinematic zoom in as we slowly but surely make our way back to the battlefield? Hopefully, eventually getting to the point we can hear the sound. Well, I'm surely going to misuse that in the future. Jimmy, write that down! I have no idea. I've never... This has to be some sort of new mod we're using here, or maybe very old one. It's unclear, because it seemed kind of... the technical term I would use is janky. But, well... Okay, one more time. Here's your warning. It does... Wait, no, it didn't do it again. I pressed the same hotkey. I'm losing it. I'm losing it over here, just like these players. It's game 1! Ah! Like and subscribe. Before you forget, we both know you will. Gonna wake up at 2 a.m. and realize you forgot something. Okay. You're on your phone in the bathroom at 2 a.m. because let's be honest here. Not to judge. Okay, but now's a good time. All right, give it a tap. Just like a revelation right on top of... He gets revelated. He's like, nah, fuck you. I'm going to the main. You can see it. Did Hero just not believe he would do that? The power of belief. No, he wouldn't do that. That's so dumb. I can see the medevacs. But can you see how much ByuN doesn't care? No, because it doesn't exist. A Colossus is going to be knocked out inside its own house. The RoboBay will... The pylon will depower the RoboBay. The Colossus tripping over the minerals. ByuN, energy recharge on top of the Oracle. Immortals on the way. Probes pulled off the line. Widow Mines will obliterate them. Hero loses the Oracle. 21 probes dead. Main base under fire. And Hero is... Well, the probes, 30 probes. He's chasing the army across the map. Another Widowmon manages to blink out of that one. Some Charizlots are harassing them on the way back home. This, well, ByuN. Okay. ByuN gonna get chased back into his own base. Hero is down 28 to 47 probes. Despite the fact he has 2 more bases. So we can actually rebuild. And of course, ByuN picks up and heads for the main. I can't believe Hero slapped out a revelation and then proceeded to just not care with it. What happened there? The medevacs, he got hit by revelation, which means he can see it. I'm getting deja vu. We've just dropped in this base before. And this time he doesn't see it coming. So, what am I watching? What in the... This is... Alright, another standard game. He's gonna come back to defend. Blink Stalkers, engaging the bait. The Nexus under fire. Actually not that important considering he barely has any probes to mine with. So he's gonna deal with that. The Stalkers, oh wait, but wait, there's more! Blink gets one! ByuN and his addiction to throwing everything in the medevacs may be the only way Hero potentially sneaks back into this now. The main base is gutted. Well. Immortals blasting. The drop at the back. Widowmine gonna take it on the chin, that Stalker. The probe and Stalker combo. Colossi moving forward. ByuN gonna engage. There are two Immortals underneath, and ByuN's army, as it almost always is, has been whittled down to effectively just Marauders. Hero, the supplies are still under 100. Neither player able to find any sort of footing, so they just try to sweep the leg of their opponent and grapple on the ground, and here we are. Bunker goes down, and Hero powering through. Those Immortals are such a big deal here. ByuN, he's trying to target the Colossi, juggles it back. What a save! 1 HP! And has Hero... Hero wins. Or ByuN loses. I'm not sure which one is more accurate, but that certainly is one of the games I have ever seen. Well, that's a good opener. Game 1 down. Hero manages to end up on the winning end of things. As the turntables turn. But we're going into Killer's Mile, where... No, I didn't have anything for that. Where the miles could be killer, because cardio is really tough. All right, ByuN. Yeah, nailed it. Please clap. ByuN in the top right, Hero in the bottom left. ByuN, no, okay. Well, there he goes. All right, there goes the SCV, one of our new Team Liquid map contest maps. So ByuN says, I wonder where I can put a barracks. And he's found somewhere that is, well, looking very far from his main base. Wait, no, he has a barracks in his main. He's also going to have, so it's going to be like a hidden Rex, a half and half here. Okay, sure. Let's give this one a shot. Is it going to be Marauders? Because Reapers don't make any sense. It's been a while since we saw it. Honestly, with the removal of shield battery overcharge, as well as the addition of energy recharge, feels like Marauder all-in should actually be stronger. Though technically the Stalker build's a little quick. It feels like it, but we haven't seen a lot of it. I guess, well, last game he went for +1 attack for 2 Marines, so... Let us not delve too deep into the labyrinth that is ByuN's mind. Because you're just going to end up... It's Marines and Marauders again! Wow, crazy. No one expected this, except literally everyone. I still don't understand. So Hero won the game, so I guess that makes him right. But he put a revelation down on the medevac. On the... I'm sorry, freeze frame. That's going to be a lot of that. What's going to... Nope, didn't work. I don't know what it was that happened that one time, but we glitch in the matrix with the camera. But he revelated the medevacs. He could see them boosting into his main. ByuN saw that Hero put a revelation on his medevacs, and that Hero could see him boosting into his main. But, like, the Emperor has no medevacs. Or has some, I don't know, whatever makes sense, but But then he just did, and Hero didn't respond. What kind of mind trick was that? It'd be... Okay, you know, now that I'm puzzling it out in my head, the only thing that makes sense is Hero thought it was a fake. Occasionally, especially players like ByuN, will just send out 2 medevacs with nothing in it. Alright? Nothing. Just like a hallucinated Colossus for Hero. Totally not a misclick trying to make a Phoenix. So, that is the only thing that makes any sense. And even that is pretty dumb. But we'll see if we can top it this game, as I'm still hung up on the last one. ByuN has already moved on. He's pulled out his charcuterie board, and he's gonna slap a bunker cheese down in his face. Here we go. The Nexus finishes. He waits for the Marines to get across. So the beauty of this is Hero scouted with a hallucinated Phoenix. He didn't expect this. He didn't build a well, he built shield batteries on the high ground, so I guess he expected some of it. But the probes are pulled off the line because, of course they are. The Marauder, the bunker's not finishing. Well, actually, the SCV is not dead. He's just going to let it finish. Oh my god, the bunker's going to finish. Only 1 Marauder inside, but the bunker will complete. So, he did not target the SCV in the midst of all of that. If he did, this may have just ended. The thing is, if he targets the SCV, then maybe he loses even more probes or all of his stalkers. And then he has his own problems. So here we are. Game number 2 starts pretty much where game 1 left off, confusingly. An Immortal is on the way. A Sentry being warped in. I guess energy recharge is probably his best bet here. What do you use? You hallucinate something? I guess he could target fire, but, well, the Marauder, this is still happening. The Nexus is taking a lot, and Marauders do a lot of damage to Nexi. But here comes the Immortal. This is it. Either he breaks or he doesn't. Here we go. Guardian Shield, gonna help out a lot. Target fire on the Immortal. Alright. No. Nope. Well, okay, yep. Buttered up those Marines beforehand and just scooches right off. Nope, not that Marauder, though. Too thick. And we'll be squeezed in and taken out, so a bit of a consolation prize there for Hero, but he'll take it. Oh, my. And this is happening. This is as fast as they go. The warp prism. Yeah, sure. Okay, here we go. And the warp prism juggling. And the circus is open yet again, everyone. And the... the Immortal being juggled forward, trading fire. Now, the Immortals take a lot of damage. Hero has lost... Well, the Sentries getting surprisingly bloodthirsty. And it's impressive to be thirsty at all because Protoss are robots or they just don't have mouths. But so it's going to turn into an Immortal drop. ByuN just gave away where his proxy racks was. I'm not sure if Hero even knew for sure that's what it was or if he just had hidden a rack somewhere, but well, he knows now. Oh, wait. He did not check his corners. Doors and corners. That's where they get you. So, well, so that Immortal, 11 kills. Wow. That Stalker going to get significantly less kills if he keeps walking in. Now there's a bunker in the same spot on the other side of the map, but here we go again. ByuN scans the natural. Oh, that seems a little premature as the... Is he going to try to sentry drop the ramp? He was thinking about it. It's still a possibility. If he can get a force field on the ramp, there's no way to break it or circumvent it at this point. He's trying to bait him down with the Adepts. The Immortals in the main. The Adepts are going to get a lot of economic damage done. 4 SCVs and counting. Marauders on the ground. Meanwhile, Immortal drop. Killed off a few more. Looks like the supply depot may burn. Drop a supply and repair it. Nope, it just burns. Well, that's a metaphor for something. Disruptor drop out of nowhere. Direct hit, 5 SCVs. I'm sorry, I was busy contemplating our existence, and Hero was doing his best to end ByuN's. Disruptor drop? What? I guess with minimal starport units and no cyclones, there's no real answer to it. The disruptor drop, quite a threat. Double drop is coming in, and here we go again. Now he's trying to get a shot off, but okay, well that wasn't gonna work. Meanwhile, the double drop at the back might be able to he's just tanking the Colossus. He targets the Twilight. Wait, what? Okay, I'm going back. Wait, who actually killed the Twilight here? I want to know if that was a misclick from Hero or not. Because the kind of false start Disruptor, he's trying to, well, Disruptor, will they, won't they? So the Twilight gets attacked. And he drops out of Hero Marine and he picks it up. Okay. And that will deny Blink. Thus, opening up a lot more opportunity to do that exact same thing again. Hero, don't build the Twilight in the same spot. He doesn't. Wow. Thank Tassadar. And Immortal. He's still building Marauders over here. Either he has it in a hotkey or he really thinks that's... Oh, there's a Forge. But wait! A drop on the other side! Disruptor! In Medevacs and Marines and Marauders and up and down and all around. And ByuN, well, Hero has more supply, but the Forge! No! The Forge will go down. The Disruptor's on cooldown, which Hero had to pop it out. He wasn't sure. It's gonna get targeted, but he picks it back up pretty easily. And now there's a Colossus. Double drop coming back in for more. ByuN still trying to get the damage done. Hero has 3 bases. Blink restarts. More probes gonna die. Targeting a few more Guardian Shield to try to protect the probes. Without the Blink, the Medevacs running all the way around. Here we go again. ByuN, Disruptor hitting the main. 4 more SCVs dead. ByuN down 10. A lot of these Marines and Marauders in red and orange health. But the drops come back into the natural. Oh my. It never stops. The revolving door of Terran drops will continue until at least Blink is completed. Unfortunately, that's taken an inordinate amount of time in this game. Okay. Alright. Wait, no. Disruptor! Looks like it missed. I was looking on the mini-map for things until I realized, you know, a Warp Prism a little more dangerous than usual. There's a Disruptor in the deep red. Both players are getting their double upgrades now. Double Energy Bay for ByuN, double Forge for Hero, because both of them have failed to do so until this point. Hero lost his Forge. That SCV is stuck after complete. Job's finished, or they're just idle. I'm not sure which one's worse. Meanwhile, the Colossus almost taken out by a drop in the main. He's still building Marauders off the proxy racks. Disruptor shot from the flank, but he picks it up at the last moment before it gets taken out. He's gonna try to hit it with the tanks. No charge. Disruptor obviously is not off cooldown, Hero. Your sense of time is completely skewed. It's all the chrono boosting through the years. Blink is now finally completed, but there are siege tanks shelling from the low ground. ByuN still has a drop. He boosted it and then didn't go anywhere. We've all felt like that in life. Meanwhile, 4 siege tanks on the low ground as he shells the high. And, well, Hero's going to try to break out. Guardian Shield from the north side. Warp Prism in solidarity moving over the top. It's not like there's any Marines to shoot it down. And wow, ByuN is super dead here. Drop at the back, but Immortal will blast it apart. And Hero just completely shuts down the tanks. He'll knock out the Medevacs with all hands. There's still the proxy racks. Okay. That Medevac is hiding inside of the skyscraper, which seems a bit illegal, but okay, here we are. But I think Hero finally has consolidated something resembling an actual lead here. Another game that... Well... That's a lot of... He just kind of casually built 5 Immortals. Because ByuN loves marauders, and Hero loves killing them. Disruptor shot will chase them back. There's no medevacs back at home. The barracks is trying to come home after all this time? Really? After all of this? A drop. I think that's the original drop coming around. But Hero's up 50 supply. He's maintained his economy throughout all this. ByuN dropped himself to death. And he may be dropping a second map. Dropping him to the whatever the reverse of match point is. GG. Didn't have a good follow-up on that one. But here we are. Hero with 2 victories back-to-back. Wading through the chaos and coming ashore with a relatively coherent army. The significant amount of immortals making a huge difference in both matches so far. But we'll see what the ley lines have in store. He just sent a probe out. Where are you going with that probe? It's the beginning of the game he sent a probe out. Which could just be, well, one, he did just get proxy racks, but it is so early. Literally could not be any earlier. Now, the question, it seems like he just literally wants to get there when the depot finishes to know exactly what's happening. He might even be able to delay the barrack. Oh my. Why is it he can delay the barracks here? Oh, because it's a gas first. Like, so you should have enough minerals in order to build a racks right off the bat. But it is indeed a gas first build from ByuN, which is certainly something. Is he gonna... Oh, it's an engineering bay block, which is in many cultures considered to be a dick move. But that's what Terran bases their culture on. So, hell yeah, brother. I know. Well, Hero's just gonna bring the probes down because, of course he is. That's one way to now, some players will try to just expand to a third base. Some players will build units, like a zealot, to deal with it. Hero is no stranger to pulling the probes. There will be a cancel. Hero slaps down the Nexus. He does have a Cyber Core on the way. The benefit of going for the gas first is getting the factory in such a timely fashion. ByuN is hiding the SCV. I don't think because he's scared of the probe, but because he doesn't want him to know the SCV came home. So he wants to try to hide it there. Meanwhile, Hero's just going to go off to the corner of the map and just hang out for a while, hiding from the Reaper. Factory starts. Reactor already on the way. Probe comes back around. Will he? No. No. He's dead, Jim. Probe gets taken out. And the Reaper is on its way across the map. As dramatically as possible. Going to jump up every single cliff just to show off. Adept, though. Meet and greet. Oh, a little slow on the draw. The move command means that the Reaper will get away relatively easily. A Stargate is on the way. Because of course it is. Adept waiting for it, though. Bet you're wondering why I've gathered you all here today. It's just me. I don't know. Stargate. 3/4 done. No idea what's coming out of it this time. That's the beauty of this matchup and these players is they might not even know what they're going to do next. We know where likely they'll end up, but the road to get there is an unexpected journey. Oracle it is. Cyclone for ByuN. Enough Marine. A medevac. Okay, he's going to get aggressive. Just some casual medevac drop harass with a cyclone combined. Cyclones have racked up a... Wow, that is just disrespectful. just waltzes through the Adepts. So now Hero's just going to move in. He might be able to dive on the Cyclone. All right. Nice cars passing meme there. Unfortunately, the Cyclone was repaired, much like the Oracle cannot be. He's going to come back around, use vision, and knock it out of the sky from downtown. Steph Curry's the Oracle. And down, well, okay, that's very bad. That losing the first Oracle without killing literally anything, that is, Gonna get the high ground vision, but wait, there's more! The second Cyclone, he boosts the medevac and the vision! And the one who got away, 2 HP. For now. At least the shield battery is done, but this is going to be, well. Hero with enough units to make this somewhat difficult, but ByuN definitely has the initiative here. The Cyclones are an existential threat to anyone who doesn't tuck themselves in right next to a shield battery at night. Hero just takes the other third base that is almost never taken as a third, but I think just trying to hide it for as long as possible from ByuN. Liberator heading towards the main. There is a Phoenix that could help take it down, though I think the Liberator might be able to kill it in a heads-up fight. Single Adept made it across the map. Cyclone, another clone? 3 clones. It's funny how that works. Cloning. Double Cyclone drop over to the right flank. Liberator hanging out to the north, waiting for its opportunity, or for ByuN to remember it. A little bit column A, a little bit column B. Blink is almost completed. Yeah, honestly, the first time we've seen, like, something resembling a straight-up... This isn't even a straight-up Blink build, though. There was the Stargate. Blink's into the main, but... he was completely prepared for this. The Liberator's moving in. The Cyclone drop as well. Recalls back to the natural. The Cyclones, he'll just zone things out. The Liberator completely annexing the main base. Hero! 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 Oh, no. Oh, no. No, it's a disaster. The Cyclones are all... No, my God! It's bad. Oh, 11... 12, oh, it's 14 kills, 15 kills. ByuN didn't even try to be subtle. He literally encircled the entire Nexus. 20 kills in total. It's an absolute, unmitigated, economic, financial disaster that Hero may never financially recover from. It's bad. It's so bad. That one Liberator finally gets taken out, but there is no payment that it can be forced to pay that will make up for, well... All right, the medevac is a good start. Wow, that was about as bad as it could get. I guess he didn't kill every probe at that base. So, don't worry, the probes who survived will have an immunity to Liberators in the future. That's what I hear. All right, that's the prevailing science. Survival of the fittest, I guess. Something like that. Well, is Stim done? Yep, +1 as well. And the probes, well, there's not much back here to defend because he doesn't really have much in general. 1 Zealot going to be warped in, which is exactly 7 less Zealots than were needed. Pylon going to be taken down. Hero trying to blink his way back into this, but he needs to blink twice for a long period of time because this is definitely a nightmare. Well... the Bio Army, the Blink Stalkers and Probes combined may be able to deal with this, but the Marauders keep trundling in. And GG, ByuN is on the board. Bit of a disaster piece, but here we are. Wow. Another typical Hero versus ByuN series. The pendulum has swung. Let us see if it continues in ByuN's direction or if Hero's able to bring it back once more. Game 4. Sandler. ByuN in the top right-ish. Hero in the bottom left-ish. One Liberator with 14 kills. Even if the Liberator only picks up a few, that's still a pretty tough situation for Hero, who has Blink Stalkers against someone who's already building stimmed Marines and Marauders. But, well, certainly didn't help. Double-digit Liberator kills are not something that should happen, especially once Blink is already completed. Yeah, we'll see how he contends with the Sand Spikes. I always forget. Like, I usually look and see that Hero and ByuN are playing. Well, especially against... They're part of the trifecta. Okay, the triumvirate. The Triforce. The trial and error, if you would. Hero, ByuN, and Dark. The three most accomplished players who are still at least currently playing in Korea. One of each race. And whenever they get together, it's usually some form of disaster piece. In the most entertaining possible way. For quite a while, why is it always you three? Nowadays, the big three are Clem, Max Pax, and Hero. You might have noticed a little carryover there. Partially because of the timing of many tournaments. Unfortunately, we no longer have the ESL weeklies, which means we're a bit limited on the Korean-centric tournaments. This is actually from Wardi's Mondays, which both these players are playing at like 8 a.m. Korean time to be playing this tournament. But I don't think that factors in here because I've seen them play at prime time, offline. Doesn't matter. It's still the eye-opening experience that it is here today. So Twilight on the way. We've got our most mundane. Let's use a better caster word. We've got our most predictable. No, better. Our most solid opener thus far. The most rigorously attempted and mapped out build. There it is. With Blink up against the 1/1/1. First Adepts dueling with the Marine Hellion. Either of these two sets of units can win this. It looks like both of them will lose one way or another. Loses the Hellion. The Adepts will survive, but you know what they say? That which doesn't kill you leaves you permanently damaged, crippled, fearful for your life, and incapable of fighting at the strength you once did. Put that on a... You can go check my merch for that on a mug or something. Which you could drink out of, unlike the Protoss, who don't have mouths. Terran send them mugs all the time. They call that mug shots. Medevac on the way across the map. We got 8 Marines inside. No stim, no combat shield, all natural. Marines and power armor with Gauss rifles. And, well, the medevac just seems like it jolted to a start, drifted off the road there for a moment, but the rumble strips will bring it right back on course. I hope you're in for some chop. Ready for some chop, or whatever the line is. Either way, Hero... I'm not saying he's a gold digger, but... Hero will take down the rocks between the Nexus and the minerals. Probe even getting in on the action. The archaeological expedition. Gonna take another couple weeks for the Adepts and Probe to take down those rocks, but until the Nexus is finished, not really a big deal. Raven sneaking in from the bottom right side. We've got the Blink Stalkers heading up. Wait, does he have Blink? He does. There's a Widow Mine in there. Direct hit on the Prism. But there's not enough to follow it up, so that Prism going to join the ranks of units that are permanently damaged but not dead yet. Cyclone. Unfortunately, everything on a move command. Cyclone gonna get some more kills, and here we go. Wow, really wants that probe. We'll get it. Cyclone dead, though. Raven auto turret. Doesn't find the target fire. Glides off into the airspace at the back. ByuN slapping down a few more racks on Tech Labs. Hero working towards the gold, and now ByuN is aware of that gold. So, should be making moves to deal with it momentarily. Very dramatic sound for that. Sentry's on the way. And Immortals being pumped out by Hero. Really leaning into the Immortals. He's had a lot of success. ByuN loves his Marauders. So those Immortals definitely making a huge difference. Raven sneaks into the main. The supply depot's kind of... Well, he's got a supply line. The medevac saves the SCVs. Stalker's going through a lot of effort to kill one SCV. Almost glides by the Widowmine on the way out, but doesn't quite get hit by it. And Observer watching ByuN, ready to move out. Hero, we're gonna fight in the Sand Spires, it looks like, which do block a lot of movement from the larger units, creating some kind of artificial choke points. Even Stalkers, as you see there. The boys are back in town. The boys on the way across. ByuN opening up the rocks. In other news, there are rocks here, but the boys are out in front. And Hero, he doesn't have any splash damage, so this is actually quite a good scenario. But he does hallucinate a Colossus, so that's something. And then takes down the Raven. ByuN, does he know that's hallucinating? I don't believe so. But the SCVs are dead. ByuN actually making a lot of progress here. I think he's respecting the Colossus. But Hero, fake it till you make it. But he's not making any Colossi at all. He's gonna just glide forward, eat the Widow Mine hit with a hallucinating Colossus. And ByuN lost 25 SCVs on the front lines. And he buffered for the Immortals. Hero throwing this back, knocks down a medevac with units inside. The Immortals trundling up. Charge lots closing in. And Hero closes it out. He takes the victory in a hectic 3-1. And that brings us to our bonus game, where we have a surprise. Hero versus ByuN. Yeah, didn't see that one coming. Except ByuN is playing StarCraft 1 Terran. So, now we see. In our specialty match. This is from Enki's Pro Series. Separate match, but same vibes, I think. We're on Purity and Industry. But Hero takes the 3-1 over ByuN in the best-of-5 finals and takes the victory as ByuN with a pretty desperate SCV pull. Hero turns it around with a well-placed hallucinated Colossus and capitalizing on that gold base. But with the Brood War Terran. In the top right, this is from the StarCraft Evolution mod, where you can pit the StarCraft 1 units and, well, essentially just StarCraft 1 races up against StarCraft 2, and it's balanced to bring them relatively in line. Nothing's perfect, of course, but that means you start with 12 workers, not 4. We don't have another 6 minutes to sit here and watch them figure out how to right-click workers onto mining, though I'm sure they could figure it out pretty quickly. ByuN goes command center first, which is a bold move indeed, though we are on one of the most dramatic maps that we've ever seen in the map pool. Purity and Industry, a very Scrap Station-esque. Close air distant. Is he just going to go mass Marines? Of course he is. ByuN's been going mass marines for 27 years straight. All right. Since he could see above the desk and touch the keyboard, he's been making marines with the M key. Because somebody, whoever the geniuses were at Blizzard back in the day, and they were geniuses in a way, but decided, well, marine starts with M, so the hotkey should be on the M key. Of course, esports literally didn't exist at the time, so, but still. Probe, well, it starts with a P, so the P key it is. Duh. It makes complete sense. Well, times have changed, but ByuN's strategies have not. As he's going 3 racks marine, because of course he is. Hero is playing StarCraft 2 Protoss yet again, so... it will be probably a similar style. A bunker is on the way. No academy yet from ByuN, so no ability to get stim or marine range. A wall off from Hero. Interesting. Not sure what he's trying to avoid with that. Maybe ByuN played random? I don't think so. That was pretty intentional then. Making sure he has the Stalker coming in, but the SCV has 60 HP. Doesn't die that easily. So I guess if he's died that easily anyways. In the bunker. Ah yes, beautiful. But the bunker will be filled and the Marines will be enough, or just one Marine is enough to drive the Stalker back. Academy is on the way. And just 3 Marines at a time until the Academy. Wow, a Robo Bay rush. Hero, Colossus, or Disruptor. Either is an existential threat to anything coming out of these barracks. There are no Marauders. I don't think Firebats or Medics have nearly enough HP to survive a Disruptor hit. Marines obviously do not. 3 Medics on the way. Comsats coming online. So the way Comsats work is they're like an add-on for your command center, which allows you to scan, and that's it. And they're always, and this is a science fact, in the most inconvenient possible spot on the map. All right, it's going to get in the way of something important, no matter what you do. And that's just a science fact. Scan, will spot. I believe he saw the Robo Bay, so if he's going to go, he's got to go now. I think he saw it finishing as well, so he's got a timer on it. We got the Marines and Medics coming across the map. Medic tagging the other one on the back. They move so fast. Think to keep up with the soon-to-be Stim Marines. Medic comes back, but already using a lot of their energy here. Colossus is 3/4 of the way done, and once the Colossus is complete, I don't know if there's any way just Marines are going to break through. Marine range is on the way behind this. Hits the stims, trying to target down. Shield battery, just targets the shield battery. Force field optimistic. Marines just grinding through. So this is what the wall off was for. Helping to deal with this. He was intending on going for the Colossus. Guardian shield going to help out a lot. And without Marine range, the Colossus doesn't need it. He could actually just juggle forward. He didn't go for extended thermal lance. He went for gravitic drive. Warp prism speed. To chase these Marines. What a play. Oh, wow. Those Colossus swipes. Incinerating groups of Marines and Medics. It doesn't discriminate. Wow. The Colossus, a real War of the Worlds type situation. And right now, the Protoss worlds are certainly winning. Oh my god. Burninating across the countryside. The Colossus hunts down and kills every single last one of the Marines and Medics. There's a siege tank on the way, but siege mode is not done yet. Wraith in production. But a disaster as the Colossus hunting. Well, there's still the bunker back at home. Scanning forward. There's no other purpose for the comsats other than scanning, so trying to make sure. The Wraith is about to pop out, and nothing here can actually stop it. So... yeah, the Warp Prism and the Colossus... well, I guess he could warp in Stalkers, so... ByuN transitioning now into Mech. Much more typical composition against Protoss in the Brood War. Though they don't have the StarCraft 2 engine to Micro Marines and Marauders, so... The custom Wraith model looks amazing. And it actually does some damage against ground, unlike its Brood War counterpart. Because otherwise it'd be almost entirely useless, so... I don't believe he went for Wraith Cloaking. Not that that's very important at this stage. Siege Tank in position. Colossus drop versus Wraith versus Prism. The Wraith slightly slower, it looks like, than the Prism. And with the recall, we'll easily be able to get out of there. There are some observers. There's an island base, by the way. Is ByuN aware of that? If he is, he's not going for it quite yet. Hero will take his third. He's only at 54 probes. The dropship is complete. Wraith is completed as well. 3 more factories on the way. Siege tanks in production. Spider mines in production as well. As I'm racking my brain for what other upgrades. Oh yeah, vulture speed. Well, he needs vultures in order to lay down spider mines. That's a science fact. A lot of science facts today. I apologize for bringing up science so much. I know it scares a lot of people on the internet. Meanwhile, really, ByuN? And it's like, I'm gonna do marine drops and tank pushes. And that's it. That's the whole strat. The barracks are floating across the map. Well, they're just kind of hanging out in the way. As he moved him out of the way in order to make sure he had a better position to build in his main. The marine drop comes in, but the stalkers will blow it out of the sky. 4 vultures at a time. Gonna use the barracks to wall off at the front. Hero at 140 supply. 3 colossi, but the siege tanks gonna be quite difficult to deal with, especially with this sort of bulwark here. Vulture speed on the way. The Zealot's going to be warped in. Charge nearly done, and Hero going to be hitting quite a strong timing. +2 in charge, about to complete. Just as ByuN is headed towards... Oh, wait, you have to go all the way around there. I guess there's a set of rocks conspicuously placed. Debris, rather. Right on top of this fancy-looking bridge area. Spider Minefield is going to be a lot to contend with. The engineering bay lifted off. Hallucinated Colossi in front. The Spider Mines are doing terrible, terrible damage. Oh, the engineering bay distracted the Colossus, and Hero, his Colossi are way too late. He just went straight into the minefield. Oh, the Minecraft there turning into, well, like Minecraft at this point. He ran... Hero, you have to know better. You're literally named after a professional Brood War player. I assume. I was never sure if Hero was the same person. I probably should know that. But I digress. Oh, Spider-Man's taken out. One at a time, that's easy enough. But ByuN might be able to take full advantage here. With a mech army composition as opposed to units he can put into medevacs and throw into blink stalkers, he may have an opportunity to turn it all the way around back across the map. Goliath's on the way. Does he have Goliath range? No, not at the moment. The siege tank count is growing dramatically. Siege tank's only 2 supply in the Brood War. Scans across the board, gonna spot the double upgrades and check for any major tech switches. Observer speed halfway done. Some missile turrets dotting the edges. I guess, well, in Brood War, my understanding is pretty much at this stage of the game, you poke out with vultures, then you sit back and try to turtle up to 200 supply because your army is very difficult for Protoss to beat heads up. So, pretty similar to StarCraft 2, but not sure how that works against a volley of scans goes out, but not sure how that works against the StarCraft 2 Protoss, but I think we're about to find out. Thing is, ByuN he has 1-1, but he does not have a science facility. So without it, he can't get any further upgrades for mech. He's kind of locked in. Meanwhile, Hero's going for +3 attack and +1 armor. So he's working his way up. He's getting 2 more robos. He found a gold base. Down to the bottom left corner of the map. More scans. And why not? There's literally nothing else you can do with the comsats. So just continually scanning across the board. How many comsats? He's got just 3? Is he going to build nukes or something? Doubt it. Another comsat station on the way. 14 siege tanks, 17 vultures. But Hero trying to make some progress, but the vultures are way faster and can actually chase this down. Which is kind of a crazy exchange here. Goliath out in front. Goliath may be a counter. I'm not sure how well they're going to do against the Colossi. But there is an observer with the army, which means he can pick through the spider mines. Only 7 on the field right now. Think Hero... Well, hopefully Hero learned his lesson, but it is Hero, so... Scan takes out yet another observer. Fleet beacon is on the way. Hero puts the rest of his tech tree in the back right corner. You know, not a bad place to put it. He's had some bad experiences with that this game. Science facility finally on the way. And that's a science fact. Sorry. Meanwhile, the charge lots once again throwing themselves directly onto the minefield. The siege tanks shelling as best they can. Most of the charge lots not being cleaned up. And again, well, once they thin out, the siege tanks are doing huge damage. Well, thing is, though, the income. Well, I thought the income would be more dramatic towards Hero because he has the gold base, but I guess... A mothership on the way. The vulture count's still massive. There's 10, 11 siege tanks. He's working on 2-2. The immortal drop on the tanks could help break through all this. And with the vultures completely out of position, though, he's just breaking through the racks. ByuN. Hello? The siege tank count, he still has 7, but they're off to the left side of things. Vulture counter, Stalker warping. But, he lost the War Prism. The Immortals will be taken down by vultures in the main. But there's not that many tanks left over to deal with this, and the upgrades are kind of mediocre. The mothership may never see the light of day, because Hero is going to put ByuN down beforehand. And add to his tally of matches today. Well, honestly, a more coherent game that we saw throughout the entire StarCraft 2 series. But StarCraft Evo still being developed, still very popular, especially in Korea. I do want to show more games, but the algorithm has been kind of rough on those SC Evo matches, so I'm not sure how best to advertise it, to trick it. And I'm not saying you guys don't want to watch. I'm saying that YouTube somehow knows when it's not your cookie cutter top tier SC2 for the most part. It just doesn't show it to as many people. But let it know you want to see it. You made it to the end. Hero with pretty decisive victories across the board today, but still, I think some good games for the fans. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it made your day a little bit better. I know it was all over the place, but what is it nowadays? Thank you. If you got the means of motivation, it'd be awesome to check out Patreon. Thank you to our mule tier patrons for bringing in so many minerals. Big Jiggy Door Mario suit. Glad you still enjoy. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free. At least for now. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.